I'd like to thank Mr. Tom Traylen for coming on and speaking with us here in California. Tommy, what's your title and what do you do in the UK?
Well, I'm the company director of Traylen Enterprises and Movie Makers, and our prime business is renting location vehicles to the film and TV industry.
And would you say that Movie Makers is probably the biggest trailer vendor in the UK, or where's your position in that?
We're certainly as big as our competitors in equipment wise. I mean, we're one of the top four.
Okay, top four. And what are you seeing right now as far as filming in the United Kingdom?
Well, currently, or would you like to go back over the last few years?
Let's go back a couple years.
Yeah, so I mean, since I got into the industry, being relatively green and not knowing what I was doing, I've watched it grow and grow and grow to the point. I mean, I guess the climax of it has been sort of from 2018 onwards, 19, and it just gone crazy. I think even with COVID cutting in, I mean, that kind of stopped us at our best point that we ever were at. But again, COVID lifted and we went straight back there, and it was just phenomenal.
Okay.
So we just haven't had time to stop and look back. The unfortunate thing which COVID did for us was people got used to living a fantasy life, and it was very hard to recruit. So we ended up doing extremely well, but we still couldn't utilize all of our vehicles because we didn't have enough staff.
Okay.
But it was still very profitable, and we've maintained that really right up until the writers actors strike, and then that severely dented not just us, everybody.
Right.
So fast forward to where we are now, and it's a bit more of a fight to get the work,
Yeah.
and also production companies know that, and whether it's the studios or online. So we're having to hustle a bit more for our money.
Everybody's after the budget, aren't they? They all want,
Yeah,
a discount to give to use your product, obviously. They want the best bang for their buck.
yeah. It's a discount and cutting us back on manpower, which
Right.
makes it hard for us because naturally they don't want to pay for manpower.
Can we talk about manpower? How do you guys run the transportation and in London and the United Kingdom and abroad? Can you describe that to us? Because over here, what we have is Teamster drivers that facilitate the movement of equipment. We man the equipment during the day when they're filming, and then we don't use any outside labor that would be non-union for the work that the unions cover. So, how does it happen, and who mans the equipment in Europe?
Yeah, so we work. I mean, we work totally different to yourselves. So as a facility company, which we are, we will supply tow vehicles, tech vehicles, trailers, and manpower.
Okay, so let me tell you, tow vehicle would be a tractor for us. Tech vehicle would be a work truck, any truck that has the work, the equipment in it. And then what was the next one?
Well, as far as artist trailers,
Artist trailers would be, our trailers that we put, cast and into. So sorry
yeah,
to
like
interrupt.
two ways,
Right,
three ways, fifth wheels.
right.
Yeah, so it's very similar vehicle wise to what you would use, maybe just slightly different configurations. It's just the big difference is we supply the whole package,
Okay.
and that also lets us be more competitive. I guess the real big difference from the UK to the US is the fact that we're certainly in our transportation, we're not under or part of a union, so to speak. We kind of over the years have got penalised what we get paid for that because our industry is sometimes looked at as the bottom of the pile. Through just pre-COVID and after COVID, that kind of changed a little bit, and there was so much work out there. Rates were kept up to where probably they should have been. It's probably still a third about what it cost in the US, though, and that's the big difference. And I get that talking to some producers that have, come over to the US and maybe even live here now to doing a show recently. And I guess that from what they were telling me and what I already know, we must be about a third of the price of
A
you guys.
third of the price of what the union operators in America would be, plus equipment, because you guys are a total package. So it's equipment and drivers. What was the name of the drivers that you bring in to move the base camps or the tech vehicles? What was their names again?
So swing drivers. That's
Swing
the yeah,
drivers.
that's the term commonly used in the industry.
Okay. And then when we see the credits roll on a show that's produced overseas, we see unit drivers. Now, unit drivers refer to the gentlemen with the cars that move the cast and the crew
That's correct.
from hotel back to the set in different locations. But swing drivers are the truck drivers that your company provides to come in, move the equipment from location to location. And are they full time employees or are they on a day by day basis?
So a small quantity of them will be employed by us. We're actually trying to grow that figure. But the last few years in the UK, we've had a drastic driver shortage. It's been partly because we come out of the EU and there was a lot of foreign drivers that went away. So it has forced us more and more towards using driver agencies. It's not ideal, but we're not the only company. We all have to use from the same, myself and our competitors, we all use the same pool of drivers. And we will pull those in as and when needed.
Okay. And who mans or how many people man the equipment on a day by day basis if you're at the same location, let's say for 2 weeks, and you have a unit base of 20 trailers? How many people would man that unit base?
Well, it used to be many years ago, one per vehicle. I
Hmm.
mean, those days are long gone. Normally, of a 20 vehicle base, I would ideally like to put at least 8 people out there.
Okay.
We don't always get that. Productions may only want four,
Okay.
sometimes only three, and it makes hard work for the boys on the
These
job.
guys are working hard.
Yeah, to keep our equipment to the standard what people expect when they book movie makers. If we're having some of the tools to do our job taken away, it's hard.
Right.
But if sometimes it can be a case, well, take it or leave it. That's what you've got.
Right. And when you want the job, you're going to try to put your best people on to fulfill the workload that you have and keep the equipment,
Yeah.
functioning in the standard that you require for your company.